Come to your neighborhood, though. Go to your neighborhood. We want to see you walk around Queens. Go walk around Queens, man.
Queens native Young Buck jumped on live and boldly challenged 50 Cent to walk through Queens with zero security, straight up, no backup, no safety net. This came right after 50 clowned him with a savage AI meme on Buck's own birthday, turning what should have been a celebration into pure humiliation. So what exactly did 50 post that sent Buck spiraling, and did this just spark an 18-year feud all over again? Because from the outside, this looks like a fight Buck cannot win. This whole mess blew up around March 14th and 15th, 2026, Buck's 45th birthday weekend. David Darnell Brown, the Nashville OG who once stood shoulder to shoulder with 50 as a core G-Unit soldier when they dominated hip-hop, was supposedly just chillin' and staying out the way. No drama, no beef, nothing messy on his end. He had planned what he proudly called a rodeo-style birthday bash at his spot. Full Nashville saloon energy, horses, cowboy fits, southern flavor, the whole vibe turned all the way up. And he flooded Instagram with clips. Buck riding a horse through his neighborhood, laughing with locals, greeting longtime friends, showing love to the same people who supported him from day one. No sneak disses, no cryptic posts, no tension at all.
Cups. What's up, OG? Yes, sir. You did, like, come where you from, homie. You know what I'm saying?
Just a grown man celebrating another year alive, surrounded by his circle, soaking in respect and hometown love from the people who matter most. You could see it plain as day. Buck was outside on his birthday, right in the streets where he grew up, getting nothing but love from his people. No tension, no drama on his face, no signs of beef on his mind, just real support pouring in from every direction. OGs stepping up with respect, neighbors pulling through with handshakes, hugs, and smiles that showed this was bigger than rap. This is what it looks like when someone is truly tied to their roots. Buck was soaking up every second, moving through the crowd, greeting elders, checking on folks, keeping it genuine with everybody around him. At that point in the live, he was still deep in celebration mode. No negativity, no shade, just gratitude for making it to 45 and seeing familiar faces still rocking with him. No mention of 50 Cent, no talk about G-Unit, nothing messy at all. Just a man proud of where he came from and proud that his community still stood behind him. But behind the scenes, things were already shifting fast because someone else was watching that same live with a totally different energy.
You know, the gimmick is up, homie. We all looking at you. What's up, OG? How you doing, baby? I'm good, man.
I'm out here with them real riders, man. Real riders, real folks, real community. That's what Buck kept repeating as the celebration rolled on. Meanwhile, miles away, 50 Cent was reportedly glued to his phone, quietly putting together a post that would flip the entire mood upside down. Because when 50 senses an opening, he doesn't hesitate. He circles, waits, and then strikes without warning, like a predator that already knows the outcome. It doesn't matter if you stay quiet or mind your own business. If 50 spots even the tiniest opening to spin your name into content, he's jumping on it every single time. And this time, the weapon of choice was a wild AI-generated parody image styled after the classic 1970s TV show The Dukes of Hazzard. But this wasn't some low-effort meme tossed together in 5 minutes. It looked like a full production, a detailed remake of the original promo poster, complete with the General Lee and the entire cast lineup. Except 50 had edited himself as Bo Duke, front and center like the main character. Tony Yayo appeared right beside him in the frame, but the part that had social media exploding was who else got inserted into the scene. Gorilla's sister, Victoria Scarface Woods, known as Barilla, was photoshopped onto Daisy Duke's body, the character famous for those tiny shorts, which made the whole thing feel extra disrespectful.
I'm out here with them real riders, man. It is, baby. Real riders, man. It is, baby. We really do this.
Then he added T.I. as Sheriff Roscoe P. Coltrane, the clumsy lawman from the show, since 50 has been throwing jabs at Tip too, turning one post into a multi-target shot. Why go after one person when you can hit 3 targets with a single post? That's classic 50 Cent strategy. But make no mistake, Buck was the main one in the crosshairs. In the image, he wasn't just mocked, he was completely replaced, wiped out of the lineup like he was never part of the squad in the first place. Then came the caption, blasted out to millions of followers. "They mad 'cause you up. Young Buck kicked out. You in the group. At least I know you ain't looking at my AI, LOL." It read like one of 50's usual troll jokes on the surface, the kind that racks up likes before most people finish breakfast. Even academics reportedly had to stop and stare for a second, because if you know the backstory, you know this wasn't just humor, it was surgical.
At least I know you ain't looking at my ass. Oh shit. So he puts up a Broilla post and he says, "They mad because you're up."
Every word felt calculated, like it was designed to reopen old wounds that never fully healed. When 50 wrote "Young Buck kicked out," that line wasn't random talk at all. That line dragged everything back to 2008, when Buck's split from G-Unit played out in public with accusations flying everywhere, disputes over money, loyalty questions, and claims of reckless spending that turned former brothers into longtime enemies. So while casual viewers saw a meme, longtime fans saw something else entirely, a reminder that this feud never really died, it just stayed quiet, waiting for the right moment to explode again. And at least I know you ain't looking at my AI, LOL. That line wasn't random at all. It was 50 pulling out the same card he's been using for years. It points back to that long circulating rumor from the 2010s involving Buck and a transgender woman, something 50 has repeatedly used as ammo every time this feud heats up.
Leave that, man. This ain't no game. And I just be sitting back and watching, man.
This wasn't some off-the-cuff Instagram laugh, not even close. It felt calculated, sharp, and aimed to hit Buck where it hurts most, his reputation, his legacy, and his personal life all at once. That's the 50 Cent playbook, and he's been running that exact strategy with cold precision for nearly 2 decades. And sure enough, Buck saw the post, and he didn't stay quiet. His response came fast and heavy. But hold that thought for a second, because before he even fired back, the internet had already exploded at lightning speed. Major blog pages like Academics, Baller Alert, and other industry outlets blasted the image out to millions within hours. Reaction channels on YouTube were uploading before the sun even went down, pumping out videos with titles like 50 Cent trolls Young Buck on his birthday, and Young Buck crashes out on 50, turning one post into a full-blown online firestorm almost instantly. Twitter completely lost it. Memes everywhere, broke boy jokes flying non-stop, and debates popping off about that street challenge Buck mentioned. Comment sections on every platform turned into straight chaos, with one side backing Buck and the other cracking up with 50. Even Barilla jumped into the mix looking totally unbothered, almost excited to be part of the viral moment. From the second it dropped, this situation had momentum and it wasn't slowing down for anyone. With one perfectly timed Instagram post, 50 Cent managed to hijack a man's 45th birthday, a day that should have been all about Buck and his people, and flip it into round 1 of yet another chapter in one of hip-hop's most lopsided, never-ending feuds.
Trying to manipulate these fans' minds and shit until the bullshit come to an end and that shit catch up with you.
But Buck, and listen closely here, wasn't about to just sit there and take it. Not on his birthday, not in front of his city, not with cameras rolling. What happened next is the exact moment this situation went from messy to explosive. Because the clapback came straight out of Cashville. And here's what a lot of folks in comment sections keep misunderstanding about Young Buck. They think he'll just fade into the background, but when pushed far enough, he steps forward loud and direct, ready to answer disrespect head-on without sugarcoating a single word. This is not some soft guy who's gonna scroll past blatant disrespect on his birthday and pretend it didn't happen. Not Buck, not the one from Cashville. Give the man this much credit, he did not crumble, he did not hide, and he definitely didn't act like everything was sweet. He didn't post some vague motivational quote about rising above negativity. What he did was way more raw, way more personal, and straight from the environment that shaped him in the first place. It was the kind of response that felt grounded in real community energy, not PR strategy.
Now you got kids all over you. You can't even do nothing with the man's children. So you want to just start trolling different folks and this and that.
Buck grabbed his phone, opened Instagram, hit go live, and took it straight to the streets. Not a studio backdrop, not some luxury condo, the actual neighborhood where people know him by name. He walked block to block, greeting longtime residents, calling out OGs personally, stopping by Ed's fish spot like it was just a regular day outside. No security team hovering nearby, no managers whispering in his ear, no flashy entourage forming a shield around him, just Buck standing there with the same people who've supported him from the beginning, looking completely at home in his surroundings.
And from that exact spot, surrounded by familiar faces and real-life witnesses, he started speaking his mind with zero filter, letting every word fly directly to the internet without hesitation or cleanup.
Man, come on, man, the gig is up, man. Goddamn, how much trolling and shit you gonna do before you do something?
Buck made it crystal clear from the jump. He hadn't been ignoring any of this. He'd been watching 50's entire trolling run play out in real time, tracking every post, every meme, every personal jab, every moment somebody's name got dragged for clicks. He kept quiet for a long time, biting his tongue while the internet laughed. But the birthday stunt was the final straw that pushed him over the edge. Right there on live, Buck was voicing something a lot of people in the culture had already been whispering about. The idea that 50's whole online presence now revolves around controlling the narrative, shaping public opinion through jokes, viral clips, and shock posts instead of music. To Buck, it was all smoke and mirrors, memes instead of records, trolling instead of building, digital chaos instead of real substance. And he basically said the curtain is starting to fall. People are catching on, seeing through the performance, realizing it's all calculated entertainment designed to dominate timelines, not playlists.
The resentment started from 50 not having me on the shows together, so you would see Banks and Yayo and 50 together.
He also took a direct shot at 50's ongoing issues with T.I., especially after public tension involving family members spilled onto social media. Buck's message was blunt. You've got real-life situations demanding attention, serious matters at home, yet you're online making AI jokes about me on my birthday? The underlying question hit hard. Where are your priorities, man? Handle your own business first before stepping into mine. It came off less like a rant and more like a warning, delivered from the middle of his neighborhood with zero sugarcoating and nothing held back. Then Buck doubled down with a message that hit even harder. All that internet tough talk doesn't equal real-life presence. In other words, keep that energy where it started. Keep that shit up there, meaning keep it in New York, keep it online, keep it wherever it lives, because down in Nashville, things move different. Buck was making it crystal clear that keyboard aggression doesn't hold the same weight when you're face-to-face with people who actually know you, grew up with you, and can vouch for you in real life. It was less about threats and more about authenticity, who's really outside and who's just trending. And then came the line that lit the entire internet on fire, the challenge that set comment sections, group chats, podcasts, and reaction channels into overdrive. Go walk around Queens. Simple words, massive impact. Because suddenly the energy shifted from memes and jokes to something that sounded way more personal. Up to that point, 50 had been firing shots from behind a screen, launching viral posts from a distance. Meanwhile, Buck was literally standing on pavement in his own neighborhood, surrounded by familiar faces, speaking directly to whoever was watching. Now, some people argued the challenge wasn't realistic given 50's level of fame. Obviously, he can't casually stroll through South Jamaica without crowds forming, but that wasn't really the point. The point was symbolism. Buck was saying, look at me right now, no barriers, no heavy security presence, just love from my city. This is what it looks like when your community truly stands behind you. Can you say the same? That was the unspoken question hanging in the air. Then Buck closed it out with a line that carried serious history behind it. I don't owe you a quarter. That wasn't random. It referenced the long-running financial dispute that ended with Buck paying roughly $690,000 through the courts, officially clearing the debt that had followed him for years. In one sentence, he wasn't just talking money, he was saying that chapter is done, the leash is gone, and there's nothing left to hold over his head anymore. The bag is paid, the contract is finished, the chains are off. You don't have any leverage over me anymore, period. That was the energy Buck was standing on. Freedom, closure, no strings attached. But if he thought going live and venting would make 50 back off, that idea got crushed fast. Within hours, 50 reposted Buck's own footage to Instagram and added a caption clearly crafted to sting as much as possible. He wrote, "Look at this punk ass. We know you like them boys. Buck Barilla like the girls. That's a better fit around here, punk. You and your hood because you broke boy. LOL." It was blunt, personal, and guaranteed to get people talking. Broke boy spread across the hip-hop internet like wildfire. Every platform picked it up. Timelines, comment sections, group chats, reaction pages, all repeating the same phrase non-stop. What made it especially harsh was how it flipped Buck's entire message on its head. Buck had been saying he could walk his neighborhood freely because he's respected and supported there. But 50 twisted that narrative completely, suggesting the reason he's always there isn't loyalty, it's lack of options. In one move, the conversation shifted from community pride to financial status, turning Buck's show of hometown love into ammunition against him and keeping the spotlight exactly where 50 wanted it, in the humiliation, not the context. You're not humble, you're stuck. You're not choosing the block is all you've got left. That was the brutal spin 50's camp pushed, and whether people believed it or not, it was exactly the kind of ruthless narrative flip that's made 50 Cent a nightmare opponent in public beefs. Buck wasn't retreating, not at all, but online momentum had already shifted. Then Tony Yayo slid into the comments with "We be in Southside all the time," a clear shout out to South Jamaica, Queens, basically signaling that the crew moods freely on their home turf too. Major outlets like Hot New Hip Hop, XXL, and Hot 97 grabbed screenshots before the post disappeared, making sure the moment lived on regardless. And 50 was still not finished. He dug up an old clip tied to that long-running rumor and posted with a caption making it clear there would be no reunion, no peace talks, no easing up whatsoever. He even hinted at putting Buck into a future project in a mocking way, doubling down on the message, no reconciliation, no forgiveness, just continued pressure with zero signs of letting up anytime soon. And just like that, what started as a birthday weekend turned into another explosive chapter in a feud that refuses to die. One side standing in the streets claiming respect and freedom, the other dominating the internet with memes, captions, and psychological warfare. Two completely different battlefields, both loud in their own way. Whether you think Buck held his ground or 50 completely outplayed him, one thing is undeniable. This situation pulled the entire hip-hop world right back into their drama. Now the real question is, does this end here, or is another round already loading behind the scenes? Because history shows neither of these men likes to walk away quietly. If you want the real breakdowns, the updates nobody else is catching, and the stories behind the headlines, make sure you subscribe to the channel right now. Hit that like button, share this with someone who's been following the drama, and drop your take in the comments. Whose side are you on?